Ever wish you could lend a hand to someone, like really quickly, like right this second, across the globe even? Maybe translate a street sign for someone who's lost, or help someone find the right spice in a market, you know?
Yeah.
Just something small but impactful. Turns out you can. You don't even have to leave your couch. That's the idea behind Be My Eyes. It's an app. It connects visually impaired users with volunteers for real-time help.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And in this deep dive, we're going to explore how Be My Eyes works, how it came about, and the relationship between this cool technology and human connection.
Get ready for some aha moments, because this story is full of them.
So how did this all start? Well, it all began with the founder, Hans Jørgen Wiberg. Hans wasn't born visually impaired. Actually, he had a really successful career as a furniture craftsman. But just imagine your world kind of like slowly shrinking and your vision narrowing until it's like looking through one of those tiny pinholes. That was Hans's reality.
Wow.
As his vision got worse and worse.
That must have been so difficult for him. I mean, to go through that and have your world change like that, it makes you realize how challenging everyday life can be for people who are visually impaired. We never think about simple things, like checking an expiration date.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just like telling colors apart.
Totally.
Those things become huge hurdles for someone with limited vision.
Exactly. And for Hans, it sparked this revolutionary idea he always used to say. It's like when farmers help each other during the harvest. Everyone just chips in, shares their time and energy, and they get the job done together, he realized. Then our world today, with everyone connected online and everything, a simple video call could bridge that gap between people who need a little help and those who are ready to lend a hand. And so Be My Eyes was born. It's like a digital harvest
I love that.
of human kindness.
It's amazing. You know, it's interesting how this whole concept really taps into something we all feel, that desire to help others and to connect. There's actually a theory in psychology. It's called the social exchange theory. And it suggests that helping other people isn't just some selfless thing. It actually meets our own needs, our social and emotional needs.
Oh, that's so interesting. It's a win-win. Yeah. You get to feel good about making a difference, and someone else gets the help they need. As Bebo, My Eyes learned very quickly. Going from a great idea to a global platform comes with a lot of obstacles.
I bet.
Imagine the logistics of it. Connecting users across different time zones, dealing with different internet speeds, making sure the app is user-friendly, especially for those who are visually impaired.
Yeah. Those must have been some challenging early days, I can only imagine.
For sure.
One of the biggest challenges was dealing with all the different internet connections around the world. They had to design the app in a way that it would work smoothly, even with a really slow internet connection.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they had to optimize the data usage, streamline the interface, and basically build this really robust system that could handle all those different demands.
That's incredible. It really is. And they pulled it off, created this powerful and accessible app. But then came another question. With great success, how do you keep this free and ensure it stays afloat for a long time?
It's the question, isn't
That's a dilemma so many companies face.
It is. Balancing their mission with financial reality, it's a tough one. For Be My Eyes, it led to a big decision. They decided to transition from a nonprofit to a for-profit model back in 2020. This was a huge change for a company with such a strong social mission. But they really needed a way to secure more funding, to keep up with all the growth. They'd already had a Series A funding round, but it became clear that they needed something more sustainable in the long term.
That was a really bold move. Really makes you think about the intersection of purpose and profit, especially in the tech world. And speaking of partnerships, this shift led Be My Eyes to collaborate with some big names.
Oh yeah, like who?
Like Microsoft. Now these partnerships, they have so much potential, access to all that cutting edge technology, resources, expertise, but it also makes things a lot more complex, especially when you're talking about something like user data. Think about it. Be My Eyes connects complete strangers through live video, and they're helping with some pretty personal tasks. Sometimes people are sharing glimpses into their homes, their routines.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a very unique form of vulnerability and trust.
It is. And data privacy is absolutely crucial for an app like this. They have this multi-layered approach to keep that user information safe. One of the most important things is that they use end-to-end encryption for every single call. So all the video, all the audio, it's all encrypted. Imagine the secure tunnel where the information is all scrambled up. It's basically impossible for anyone outside of that connection to understand the data or to intercept it.
It's like a digital lock and key.
Exactly.
What happens on Be My Eyes stays on Be My Eyes.
That's the goal. But it's not just about the technology. They also have policies in place to protect privacy.
What kind of policies?
So Be My Eyes, they have a very strict policy against using user data for things like marketing, advertising. They know how sensitive this information is.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're committed to only using it to provide assistance. That's it. They also minimize data storage, so nothing is stored on their servers permanently, which reduces the risk of data breaches.
That's good to hear. It's reassuring to know they're taking those extra steps. But it leads us to another chapter in the Be My Eyes story, one that's changing rapidly. How we think about accessibility and helping others. ChatGPT, the AI language model, that's taken over the world.
It really has. Integrating AI, specifically ChatGPT, into Be My Eyes presents this fascinating challenge. On the one hand, it could enhance the app and make it even more accessible. But then there's the question about human volunteers in this world that's increasingly automated.
Right, like is there even space for both? It's like Be My Eyes is at this crossroads, with human connection on one side and AI efficiency on the other. So how do you navigate that? How do you embrace AI without losing the heart of what makes Be My Eyes so special? I think we need to take a quick break, and then we'll dive into those questions and more right after this. We're back, diving into the world of Be My Eyes and this whole ChatGPT thing. You know, it's kind of like trying to teach a computer to see the world like a human. Fascinating, but also really complicated.
You're telling me one of the biggest challenges was keeping that user data private. Remember, ChatGPT, it learns from tons and tons of data. So Be My Eyes had to be really careful about how ChatGPT accessed and processed all that sensitive user information.
So how do you do that? How do you teach an AI to respect boundaries?
That's a good question. And it took a lot of work.
Right.
First, they created these super strict data access protocols. Think of it like a vault with a ton of locks on it.
Gotcha.
ChatGPT only gets limited access
Yeah.
to the data. So the sensitive stuff
Yeah.
is never directly exposed.
So it's like giving ChatGPT a peek, but not giving it the keys to the whole kingdom.
Exactly. And then they focused on something called data anonymization. So imagine you take a user's story and you change all the details that could identify them. Names, locations, dates, anything specific. So ChatGPT can still learn and help, but it doesn't actually know who those users are.
That is so smart.
It is that way. Even if there was a breach,
Right.
the information would be useless.
That's a relief.
And of course, they also have this whole system for testing and monitoring, constantly looking for any problems, bias, inaccuracies, anything that could compromise privacy.
So they're really serious about this.
They are. They're not just throwing AI at the problem.
Right.
It's about using it responsibly.
I like that. It's good to know.
User privacy
Yeah.
and safety are top priorities.
It's all about trust, right?
It is.
Especially with an app like this.
My Eyes is built on trust and transparency.
Absolutely.
And they didn't want to lose that just because they were using AI.
Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or yeah, I guess the AI in the room. What about the volunteers?
Ah, yes. That was a big concern.
I bet.
They know that human connection is everything. The warmth, the empathy, the understanding
Totally.
that volunteers bring to each call. That's what makes Be My Eyes special.
You can't really replicate that with AI.
It's true. Yeah, yet. Anyway, so they didn't see ChatGPT as a replacement.
Okay.
They saw it as a way to enhance what the volunteers were already doing.
How do you even begin to do that?
Well, it's about finding that balance.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine a user trying to navigate a really long menu with 1,000,000 options.
Oh my gosh.
Overwhelming. So especially for someone who can't see it.
Exactly.
That's where ChatGPT can help. It can scan the menu, pull up the key info, maybe highlight certain options based on what the user wants.
I see. So the volunteer doesn't have to read through the whole thing.
Exactly. They can just jump in and provide more specific help.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's about using AI to handle those more tedious tasks.
Yeah.
And then the human volunteers can come in and do what they do best. It's a perfect example of how AI can actually make human interaction even more powerful.
And I bet the volunteers were happy about that.
They were. The more My Eyes was very upfront. They made sure the volunteers knew the ChatGPT wasn't there to replace them. It was there to empower them.
That makes sense.
Transparency is key. When you're dealing with something like AI,
Oh, for sure.
people need to know what's going on and why.
Definitely.
Be My Eyes was very open about the benefits and the limitations of ChatGPT. They were honest about the challenges And the fact that AI is still evolving.
It's like they're bringing everyone along on this journey.
They're all in this together.
I love that.
And they were constantly asking for feedback from the volunteers, from the users. They wanted to hear everyone's thoughts.
That's so important, especially with new technology.
It is. But let's be real. There were definitely some bumps in the road.
I can imagine.
Integrating AI into a global app like this is a massive undertaking.
No kidding.
One of the biggest challenges was getting the Be My Eyes app to talk to ChatGPT.
Okay.
And that's where APIs come in.
APIs.
Yeah. You know what an API is, right?
Refresh my memory.
Sure. An API is basically like a translator.
Okay.
It lets different software systems communicate and share information.
So the Be My Eyes app and ChatGPT need to be able to understand each other.
Exactly. Otherwise, things get lost in translation, and it just doesn't work.
Right. It's like trying to build a house with tools that don't fit together.
Exactly. And remember, Be My Eyes is a global app.
True.
So they had to make sure this integration worked perfectly across different devices, operating systems, network conditions, you name it.
That's a tall order.
It was. And that's where Microsoft came in.
Microsoft, the tech giant.
The one and only.
I mean, they have a lot of experience with AI.
They do, and with ChatGPT specifically.
So they were the perfect partner for this.
Absolutely. Microsoft brought so much to the table. Expertise, resources. They were instrumental in making this whole thing happen.
But what did Microsoft get out of it?
That's a great question. And it speaks to this bigger trend of tech companies wanting to make a social impact.
Interesting.
Microsoft knows that accessibility is huge. Technology needs to work for everyone. And partnering with Be My Eyes allows them to show their commitment to that.
Right.
It's a win-win.
So Be My Eyes gets the expertise, and Microsoft gets to support a good cause.
And potentially gain valuable insights along the way.
I see. But with any new technology, there are always consequences.
Always.
What does AI integration mean for the future of Be My Eyes and for micro-volunteering in general?
That's what we're going to talk about next.
We've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From simple video calls to AI and the future of volunteering. It really makes you think.
It does, and it raises a lot of questions.
It does. Like, how do we make sure that technology like ChatGPT actually helps human connection instead of hurting it? Especially when it comes to something like volunteering.
It's a really important question, and there's no easy answer.
There isn't.
For Be My Eyes. It's about constantly evaluating how they're using AI, making sure it's complementing, not replacing those real human interactions.
Well, those interactions, that's the heart of it all, right?
It is. Think about it. What draws people to Be My Eyes? It's that feeling of making a difference.
Yeah.
Connecting with another person, even if it's just for a few minutes.
It's like those moments when you hold the door open for someone.
Yeah.
And you share a smile. Small gesture.
Right.
But it means something.
Exactly. And Be My Eyes understands that. They've done a great job of protecting that human element.
They have.
While still embracing new technology. It's about finding that balance.
It is. But let's think bigger picture for a minute. If Be My Eyes is doing this, what does it mean for volunteering in general?
It's huge. AI has the potential to change everything.
How so?
Well, imagine a world where volunteering is accessible to everyone.
Okay.
No matter who you are, or where you are, or what your skills are. AI could connect people with micro tasks.
What do you mean?
So picture this. You're an expert in ancient languages.
Okay.
AI could connect you with a project that needs someone to translate a historical document.
Wow.
Or maybe you're a coding whiz. AI could match you with a nonprofit that needs help building a website.
That's incredible.
But possibilities are endless.
They are.
AI could break down all those barriers that prevent people from volunteering.
I love that.
Time constraints,
Yeah.
physical limitations. It wouldn't matter.
Everyone could contribute.
Exactly.
There's always a but, isn't there?
There is.
What about the downsides?
Right. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because AI can be biased.
Bias.
Yeah. AI learns from data.
Right.
If that data is biased,
Oh, I see.
then the AI will be biased too.
So it could actually make things worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can end up with AI systems that reinforce existing inequalities.
That's the opposite of what we want. So how do we prevent that?
We have to be very intentional about how we develop AI.
Okay.
From the data we use
Right.
to the algorithms we create.
It's a big responsibility.
It is.
And it's on all of us.
It is.
Which brings us back to Be My Eyes. They're at the forefront of this.
They are.
Showing the world how technology can be a force for good.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about the technology. It's about The human connection.
It's about recognizing
Yeah,
that we all need help sometimes,
we do.
and we all have something to offer.
I love that. Well said. That's a perfect place to end our deep dive. We've explored the ins and outs of Be My Eyes, the power of human connection, and the future of volunteering in an AI-driven world. It's been quite a journey. But for now, we'll leave you with this. In a world that's increasingly digital, what small act of human kindness will you choose to make today? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.